We started by taking some offices in Charlie Chaplin Studios on La Brea. And then as we needed more space, we moved over to Cahuenga Boulevard, where we rented a building that's still there today, which had no windows in it. But it was pretty ideal for what we thought we needed. So we moved in. And it was like living in a submarine, you know. Whenever you stepped out the door, you go, sunshine, you know. But you got used to it. Having no windows really didn't mean anything. So we moved into that building. Now, across the street was nothing but fields, and nobody touched it because they said that there was a place there once called the Monkey Farm. Did you ever hear of that? I never heard of it. It's supposed to have been there. There was nothing there now. So we made one of the good moves that we made, and that is we bought 6 acres of land over there. 125,000 an acre, I think, or something like that. And now we own 6 acres. So the next thing we did for staying on expansion, we built a new studio, which is there today, with some pieces added to it. And I got to tell you, Leonard, it was really a day when we walked into that building, which was your building, that you had built, and it was all brand new, and everything smelled new, and everything was terrific. In fact, we got very creative. We had 2 entrances at the front, like 2 drawbridges. I mean, they were just like as if it was a moat, you know. But in the middle was this big fountain that sprayed, right? Wow, what an original idea. This is going to be great. The trouble was, if you were running the fountain and there was any wind blowing, you got soaked trying to get into the building, you know. And, but nevertheless, being cautious, we rented out the top floor of the building to an architect company. But within a year, we had to ask him to leave because we needed all the room. And see, what happened was is that Kellogg's became like our founding father that we leaned on, you know. They were the ones that kicked us off into the business. And but there was, in between the Huckleberry Hound and Yogi Bear and Quick Draw McGraw, we then arrived at the Flintstone time. I was directing them. I was casting them and I'd cast them and direct them. You didn't have any staff, see, and keep a handle on it. I don't know how you keep a handle. You just kept on it. That's all. I mean, did you have a storyboard? Okay. I used to meet with 4 writers, 2 on Saturday and 2 on Sunday, and go over material with them. In the meantime, Bill was timing out these sheets like a madman, you know, because to time that much stuff. And we then put in our own recording studio, because we used to go down on Sunset Boulevard and record. And then I'd take everybody to dinner. Do you remember Doberman?
Oh, sure.
Well, he was part of our Top Cats cast. And Alan Melvin was also part of it. He was part of
Bilko, too.
Bilko. And Arnold Stang, we finally ended up with Arnold, he was perfect. But then I'd take him to dinner. Naples restaurant was across the street on the corner, Italian restaurant. So Doberman is sitting there, and he's having clams on the half shell with a lot of butter in it. And you know how he was. He was a little round, funny guy. You know something? What? I mean, all these guys are sitting around listening. He's telling these stories. I used to go with Anita Ekberg, he's saying. Now, you know something? Now, while he's talking, this butter is running down his hand, over his wristwatch, down into the sleeve. You know, something was wrong with her. What? He said, she had no class. God, we used to love him. He was terrific. And when he would get in the car, he would actually hit the front, hit the back, hit the front, hit the back until he got out of there. You know, one of these things. Bang, 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 bang. So I would do a Huckleberry Hound one night, a Yogi the next night, a Flintstone the next night, a Top Cat the next night. 5 nights a week, I did a show every night.
Did your family ever see you?
Not much, but I mean, that was the name of the game. I mean, it kept coming in, and we kept doing them and turning them out and getting good stuff.
Could you have done this at all if it hadn't been for the relationship you had with all the people you'd worked in animation all those years?
No, that was very important. It was very much like a family, and we brought them all back. They were all laid off. Nobody was working, and so they all were there. And the beauty of that whole setup was some of the people worked for us for as long as damn near 30 years, 18 years, 14 years. That day is gone. Now when they finish a job, they lay them off. So it's a little sad that way. But we were doing some great work.